Okay, so not gonna lie, not every vitamin that you take tastes good, and not everything you put on your skin feels amazing, and not every treatment that you do makes you want to fall asleep on the treatment table. It's true, right? But we do it anyway. We do it because we want the end result. So we are going to be joined by Maria from Abeytu Naturals to tell us the benefits of taking these types of products. You guys, we met, hey, Skin Indulgence. We met Abeytu Naturals. I think she is attempting to join. Give me just 1 second. We met at B2 Naturals in Las Vegas at the IECSC just over the summer, back in June. And we stopped by their booth because it was intriguing. They had a very limited number of products, and we were like, well, what's going on over here? And it wasn't screaming CBD everywhere. So it was like, okay, let's see what else you guys have to offer. So we stopped by the booth and we started talking to the absolute genius behind this brand. She's one of the team members, and we were fascinated because there's so much more to Abeytu Naturals than what meets the eye. So let me, it says Abeytu Naturals is unable to join. Let me just invite her. You've got to love technology. Invite Abeytu, and then I'm also going to invite the Chief Medical Officer behind the brand as well. Hi, you made it. You made it. I was just trying to pull Dr. Emma in here too.
Okay.
Do you remember her? Emma D.
Emma DePonio.
There we are, Emma DePony. Okay, so I just sent the invite to her as well. So it's going to be the three of us
Okay.
in the room here today chatting. Oh, look, Christy Burnett says, hi, Maria. Hi, Dr. Emma. How are you?
Hi, happy to be here.
So glad to have you. I've got two powerhouses in the house today, you guys. And we're so excited. So for anyone who's just joining us, this is Jenny Nagel from Lip Gloss and Aftershave, and we have just been joined by two of the Abeytu Naturals team members. You guys may have seen this specific product being featured in our CBD guide that launched in October. And we really put together this guide to help spa professionals understand how to incorporate CBD into both the treatment and retail, because let's be honest, like CBD is kind of everywhere at this point. So we wanted to showcase some really cool and interesting ways to bring that specific ingredient into the spa world, but also show you like how it goes way beyond just tinctures. And this is not just a tincture. Am I right, ladies?
That's correct. Yeah.
So who wants to dive in? Because I gave the brief overview on how we met, but I want you guys to really tell the story behind how you came up with specifically the CV Well product that we're talking about.
Take the floor, Maria.
Okay. So it was pretty interesting how this came about, but we really had, I don't want to say we had no idea, but whenever we formulated this particular product, it was essentially it started out just to be, to target, oral breakouts, genital breakouts, things like that, to assist the immune response so that we could make it a more functional response instead of a dysfunctional response. And we go around, we educate people about what that means, essentially. So whenever you have any kind of an outbreak, skin condition, rash, you name it, that's usually due to a dysfunctional immune response. So we sought to go out and regulate it, right? And what we know is that everything that comes out physically on your face, on your skin, whether it be your hair falling out or whatever it may be, oral breakouts, genital breakouts, shingles, different things like that, we went after regulating the immune response, calming the whole system down, bringing it back into homeostasis. There are 4 aspects of aging: immune, metabolic, liver, and kidney. So whenever you address all four aspects of aging, in that regard, you are bringing the immune system into homeostasis, but you're also reversing the aging process of the cell. So what started happening was not only did so we have 3 patents pending on that particular product, the CV well that you have. That is for reduction of fasting blood sugar over 90 days, antiviral and anti-aging. And the reason why it gets everything done is because we use isolate. So we use CBD isolate to actually target the receptors on the immune cells themselves and then deliver all of the other active ingredients to those cells. So we're increasing the electromagnetic conduction of the cells themselves. And then what started happening was we started getting success story after success story after success story. And I don't know if your viewers have seen like our before and afters for the aging, right? But I know, Jenny, that you have seen them, but the results that we're getting on reversing aging of the skin are beyond remarkable.
So
for something
technically,
that's sublingual.
technically, it didn't even start. You weren't seeking out to make this miracle anti-aging skincare tincture. Like that was not your
No,
goal. So it
no.
was serendipity, which is that. And when we get to hear stories about that it wasn't even aimed at treating this, but we found out this, that just speaks volumes. So I love hearing that. So you started saying after you were doing your testing for other ailments, you started getting these results.
Yeah. You know what's remarkable is that people write into us all the time with different applications, different things that they're using it for that we had no intention of showcasing, right? I mean, we get story after story, you know, and they'll send us pictures and say things like, did you know this did this? And, you know, constantly Emma and I are like, you know,
Oh, it does? Wow. Now, I
we're
have a
not
question on
surprised.
this because, you know, as you get things approved, so let's say Sally comes to you and she says, wow, did you know it did this? Do you guys have to put the product through another round of testing in order to make those claims?
Yeah. So what we have to do, because the patents are just pending, right? And you can't patent a natural product. So I know some of your viewers will say, yeah, but you can't patent anything that's natural. Well, you know what? You're completely right. But we can patent the process, which is what we did. So the process being the way that we access these cells. And what we then do is instead of, you know, having to submit for a whole nother range of, you know, this does this or that, what we do is we say, this is the process and then this is the application. So this will be applicable to oral breakouts. This will be applicable to reversing bone loss, for instance. So all of these things are on our radar because we actually have clinical evidence of these things. What we'll do is we'll just add an additional application to the process.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Maria, Dr. Emma, did you want to chime in?
Yeah, I think during the discovery process of people saying, hey, can I, you know, did you know that it works for this? We had to sit down and say, okay, well, let's make sure it's safe first.
Right.
You know, let's make sure that it's number one, not going to harm anyone, because this is an application that we hadn't planned to use it for. And when we, you know, made sure that it was safe, then we started saying, okay, it is safe to try it, and then let us know what your results are. And so we were able to get a lot of information from the community, the Abeytu community, that was seeing results from their products and giving us the information, you know, voluntarily.
Yeah.
Right, on their own. Wait, okay. You just,
Yeah, because
have I been butchering
illicit.
the name of this? Is it Abeytu, not Abeytu? Abeytu?
We both say it different.
So,
Okay, tomato.
Yeah.
So I say Abeytu and she says Abeytu. And
Okay.
we I'm in Puerto Rico. And so it just doesn't sound right in my ear to say Abeytu.
Just
So
Abeytu. Okay.
all of the Spanish speakers, you are free to say Abeytu, and you're okay.
That's actually fantastic to know because our Spanish community is growing rapidly. We're starting to produce content in Spanish, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, wow.
But I want to talk about what is in this specific formula, because Barry and I have both been taking this for the past few weeks, I would say, and you take it twice a day. So as we led into this, we were talking about beauty in just a few drops per day. So this is basically, and you guys can stop me if I'm misspeaking, but what Barry and I are using this for is basically like a multivitamin, a daily multivitamin. We're taking 3 drops in the morning and 3 drops at night. So you can take between 3 to 10, was that it? 3 to 5, 3 to 5 twice a day.
Yeah, 3 to 5. You can actually take it, 3 or 4 times a day if you want. It just depends on, if you feel like you're going to be around someone who is under the weather, or if you have a lot going on, or, that you're going to be in a public crowded space, or let's say you want to get rid of a wart. You know what I mean?
Get rid of a wart?
So a wart is a dysfunctional immune response. And it's also caused by a virus. That has a patent pending on it as an antiviral.
Oh, I've got to see this in action.
So
if we have any of our viewers that are watching this right now that have a wart and want to participate in a trial with us, you must let me know, because that's what we do. We like to put things to the test. So this is basically, okay, so this is what I'm thinking. I come back from 2 weeks of back-to-back trade shows, and you really feel this lull. This is a great, like I would take a bunch of vitamin C or zinc or something like that to really kick up my immune system, but this could be the replacement for that.
Right. And you are getting it absorbed. The evidence that we have with our diabetics, for instance, is showing that we're getting immediate absorption. I mean, within a matter of minutes into the bloodstream, because we watch diabetics' Dexcoms just calm right down, and we watch their blood sugar flatline. So we know that we're getting maximum absorption, right? So you put it under your tongue, you leave it there for 10 seconds, you chase it with water. I know that I've talked to you and Barry as well about the taste or the flavor, right? So we'll get into that.
We will.
It's not, and we have this on our Instagram page, we're not selling chocolate. No. We're selling health and beauty.
And that's what I opened up with. I was like, you guys, not every vitamin. Think about when you take like a fish oil capsule. You can be burping that up for hours, which is disgusting. I even think about some skincare products don't smell amazing. I think about some skincare treatments that don't feel amazing. Sometimes microneedling, no matter how much you numb, it can send you through the roof. But you know what? We still do it. And this is one of those things that no matter what. So it's got this, you shake it pretty well to emulsify everything. But it's got a standard consistency. But it does not taste like chocolate. And I won't sit here and tell you that it tastes like chocolate. But to know the benefits that come out of this product, it's worth it.
Right. And there's more than, I mean, you don't know, how you can actually apply it. I mean, we honestly don't even know because of, the results that we get, or the write-ins that we get from people who are using the product, who tell us different things like, this fell off. Oh, by the way, I put it on my kid's sunburn and he didn't scar. We have a lot of different evidence that, obviously we can't go into on our Instagram live video. But at the same time, there are no limitations because it is 100% safe. And what I mean by that is you're talking about micronutrients that are already supposed to be present in the body. Things like, selenium, right? Selenium is not in our soil anymore. We help add that back. But at the cellular level, these are things that you have to have on board your cells. I mean, we're all microdeficient. We're all deficient in micronutrients, all of us. And we add this back, right, to your cells. And we know that we are rebuilding tissue. We know that, I mean, you can see it from our before and afters. And whenever you physically can tell that there's a physical difference in your face, in your skin, you know that you've got cells going to work deep down, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, so I mean, we don't have our patents through yet, but we're very hopeful. The one that we're the closest on, that's been going the longest so far, is actually the antiviral.
Okay.
So one's the one we're closest on.
And Maria, I want to speak to your point of applying. You can take this both orally and apply it topically. So I'm thinking of a specific instance right now. My son Jack, he gets these tiny little eczema breakouts, and one just appeared as the weather is getting cooler and the humidity is decreasing. He's got that, so I can actually just apply a drop or two to that and massage it in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll stop him. It should actually stop him from scratching.
Okay.
And being irritable. And just so that people know, we don't use any polysorbates in our product. So the reason it's got that yellow color and that consistency, so that's actually a combination of two things. That is quercetin, okay, which is on the exterior of an apple. And it's also the natural emulsifier that we use is sunflower lecithin. So if you're allergic, to sunflowers, you might have to stay away from it.
Be. Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's not a lot of options for a natural emulsification, and the reason we have to have an emulsifier is because we use the distilled water, and we have to make sure that we can blend water and oil. Right. And the ingredients in there are very large. And it's not easy to bring all of them together into one solution.
And you've got 7 ingredients listed on this. Can both of you or one of you speak to these ingredients?
Yeah. Emma, do you want me to, or do you?
Yeah. Take the floor.
Okay.
I'll chime in.
So we use isolate. And we only have, it's about 4.3 milligrams of isolate per 5 drops. So that's really all. We use what you call microdosing to access the receptors on the cells. We don't need anything more than that. You'll see some tinctures, they have 750 milligrams or 1500 milligrams because, they're fighting pain or something else. We're actually trying to go to the root of the problem, the root of the inflammatory problem, right? The root of the pain, bringing everything back to homeostasis. So we do that by microdosing and by accessing the cells themselves, right? So we use isolate for that. And then quercetin is sort of our secret little weapon. It's not only a plant flavonoid, but it's actually used by OB doctors to help reduce blood pressure in pregnant patients who have their gestational either diabetes or hypertension, because it's that safe. It's that.
Okay.
So we use quercetin, glutathione, and people will recognize some of these, right? Glutathione. We have to add an ascorbyl palmitate, which is a vitamin C form, and the glutathione won't work without the vitamin C. So you have to have these things as carrier molecules together. The other one is zinc. So another thing that people don't realize about zinc is that you can actually overdose on it, right? So zinc has a cytotoxicity level to a cell. So that's why some people, I don't know if they take Zicam or things like that, they'll take that and you can actually kill your cells. So you have to be careful because zinc is cytotoxic. Cyto means cell, and toxicity obviously is, right, toxic. So you can have a cellular toxicity. So you have to be careful. All we need is micrograms in this formula, and the zinc will do its job.
And let me ask, so when you reference microdosing, is that also why we need to do it twice a day or several times a day to keep it consistently in your system?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're never going to use too much of it. It's so safe you know, like I said, we have to put disclaimers on our labels that say,
Right.
you know, keep out of reach of children and all of these different, right, disclaimers. You know, check with your doctor if you're pregnant and things like that. But literally every ingredient is natural. And there, like I said, there are no polysorbates, phthalates, anything like that, parabens, anything weird. We wanted to make sure that we could accommodate, you know, the vegan community, the vegetarian community, you know, people who are very, I mean, polysorbates cross the blood-brain barrier, for God's sake, but they're literally in every product out there, including ranch dressing. You know,
Okay,
so
you've done your research.
yeah, we didn't want to contribute.
Yeah, the key with that formulary is the balance, and that a CBD isolate, which is a very refined form of CBD, that can be helpful when you combine it with these other natural nutrients in those doses that are combined together. So it's really not so much about each individual ingredient as it is about what they do when they're combined together in this balance.
Okay, and this powerhouse is what it is. It's
Powerhouse.
a powerhouse, you guys.
Yeah.
And I cannot think of a better time of year to really dive into something like this. I mean, we're going into the winter, we're going into flu season. Do we have a flu season still?
Right.
We're going into that. You're going to be spending a little bit more time indoors. And if you've been traveling, like Barry and I and Maria, I feel like you are always at a trade show or always at a conference.
Always.
So this is your safeguard against and I think even feeling run down. I mean, I just feel like I hit a brick wall. So we have been so excited to dive into this. You did recommend, of course, like what, 60 to 90 days of use before really, I guess physically, you guys, this is the other thing I want to just touch upon. We've done, we take tons of vitamins, right? And I don't feel like this isn't a peel. This isn't an eyebrow lamination. This is not highlights. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and be like, wow, I've been taking this product and I look like a new woman. It doesn't work that way. It's entire body wellness. So, but Maria, you did say my hair and nails would get stronger, and that is a very visual test that we can try. So I look forward to continuing to take it for at least 60 days and really start to measure what I'm noticing physically. But in general, you know, overall, it's been serving as a multivitamin for daily use.
No, I think that's great. That's a good way to explain it. And I know that we have people write in and their results as far as like their nails are concerned. They're usually always surprised, you know, was this supposed to do this? I just noticed this. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So you'll notice
pleasant surprises.
Remarkably different. Yeah, you'll be cutting your nails and you'll hear them in the other room. Like
flinging.
Like, yeah, they'll be flying across.
They're so strong.
Because they're so strong. It's crazy.
What we noticed in our house is the lack of illness, the lack of colds, the lack of aches and pains.
Yep.
So I don't look at my my teenager and say, oh, look, you have, you know, different skin. I look at her and say, you know what? I can't remember the last time you had a urinary tract infection.
Right.
You know?
Right. Wow.
So
yes.
It's like, oh, well, gosh, I didn't notice not seeing that until, you know, you just say, okay, well, those things aren't coming up.
Right.
Flip the script. Totally.
Yeah. We're, you know, we've been flu free for 2 years plus.
Yeah.
You know, this is a COVID free household. I think, my gosh, you know, I can't remember when we've been so healthy, but it's not something where you're going to wake up and look a different person.
Right.
But you just notice that you don't notice things. Things don't come up.
I have a 56-year-old family member, and she's been using it for, I want to say 4 months, 5 months, something like that. And she's getting compliments on her skin. She has lost a lot of weight. And by no means, am I saying that this is going to cause you to lose weight, but because of the application that we have to, reduce blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, we are getting, a sensitive insulin response. So we have found this in a couple of different people that, their fat stores are a little bit different. So we know that we're positively affecting the metabolic profile of individuals. So yeah, you might not be able to look at somebody and say, oh, something's different about you, and this is what it is. But it's funny because that's actually what keeps happening.
Right.
So we get those reports all the time.
Literally, that's got to be the best feeling. Yeah, but something is better. Something has improved, and I like
different.
Yeah, I love that approach. So you guys, Abeytu, however you would like to say it, you can access it directly through. You can head over to their Instagram now. You can also check it out in our CBD article that we launched at the beginning of October. So you can search the brand on our app, and it'll pull you right into the article so you can learn about it. And then Maria, I will also be testing, and this will probably have to be another Instagram live, but I will also be testing your weight management capsules. Now that I'm back from traveling, I feel like I have a grip around my life again and my routine. So I'm going to get those started and just see how those make me feel as well. But we are so excited to talk about you guys and tell another version of a CBD story, you guys, because it's not about CBD alone anymore. It's about it together and what it can do for overall wellness. So we cannot wait for you guys to check out the story and check out this product, and stay tuned because we will be talking more about this as the weeks go on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both for joining me. Of course. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.